Hey guys, SpacePigguArt here, and today I'm doing a 3 marker challenge. And as you can see here, I am just picking out the markers. Or rather, I have a friend who is picking out the markers while I film badly. And the colours I got in order were Pebble Blue, which is a cyan shade, Egyptian Blue, which is a blue shade, and Fire Brick, which is red, as you can see. And I wasn't thrilled with this, honestly. It's kind of really terrible. The colours don't really want to blend with each other. As you can see here, I did a quick swatch to see if they would blend, because that would have made my life easier, but they don't really. Not even the cyan and the blue, because they're just from different families and they're just too different in shade. It's kind of really frustrating, but I decided to just make do with it. So yeah, and this is a picture I drew before I actually picked the colours out, because I thought it would be interesting to try and like make it work that way. That was an interesting idea, and I mean, to be fair, it looks okay, but I think that's because I chose like a pixie fairy elf looking character, so I guess I kind of cheated in that regard, because I went with something that would look okay in weird colours. But yeah, it was certainly an experience, that's for sure. I'd actually really like to do this challenge again, just to see if I can get colours I like better, because while I love Pebble Blue as a colour, like, it's really gorgeous, and I don't know, yeah, it looks pretty good on screen, I think, but yeah, it didn't go that well with the other colours, which was a real shame, because that was the first one I got and I was like, this could be a really good one, I'm really excited, and instantly all hope was dashed. But yeah, here I'm just shading, trying to make it all look a little bit more nice. Because none of them blended, I had to basically shade with the colour, the base colour that was used, which, you know, it wasn't too bad, it turned out okay. It's kind of lucky that the pro markers are so layerable, because as you can see, you can actually get like a reasonable amount of contrast from them from just using the same colour over itself over and over again. But yeah, so it was an interesting one. I'm more than a little bit frustrated about all of this, but you know, it just gives me a chance to do it again some other time, which I think I definitely will, because I did really enjoy this. It was just not ideal colours, especially since none of them wanted to blend. The Fire Brick and Egyptian Blue, they blended a little bit, but it looked very black, and I didn't really want to use that because of it. And the colours didn't even layer that well, because the blue was too dark, the red was too dark, and the, well, Pebble Blue was too light. So yeah, it wasn't ideal at all. But yeah, such is the way with random markers, I guess. Here I decided in the sketch that I did, that I then copied onto marker paper, that I would have like a pattern on her skin, and it's not like that interesting a pattern, it's just a big block, and I did move it around a bit to account for the fact that I actually quite liked the way the shoulder turned out, but not so much the way the rest of the body looked, because it's a bit patchy, because I knew I was gonna be colouring at least a little bit of that. But yeah, I do like the way it turned out, honestly. Like, I wish I'd had another colour that wasn't red to go with this, because then she might have looked a bit like a water fairy pixie elf thing. But it is what it is. Yeah. The eyes turned out quite nice. I tried to combine all three colours in the eyes, and I don't know, it didn't go badly, but it didn't go amazingly. It just kind of looks like the blue is black, and then I went over it with my Signo uni ball pen because I mean, I know it's a 3 marker challenge, but that's just white, and I don't really think it's cheating because it's white and my paper is white, and I've left white spaces in the eyes, and it's really just like letting me create that white space without having to try and leave it and possibly mess it up with the markers. So, you know, each to their own, but that's how I see it anyway. And here I'm just doing the hair in red because the skin I didn't really want to be different colours. Like, I mean, I guess they are different colours because they're in different colour families, but I didn't want them to be like actually just completely different because the blues do at least go together a little bit. So I ended up just doing the hair and the eyes red to try and make a bit of contrast, and the red actually layers quite nicely. Like, you get quite a nice depth of colour from just the red, which is great because otherwise it would have just looked flat and boring and it would have sucked, really. But yeah, I'm just like trying to give her a bit more shading, some shading on the lips so they stand out a little bit. Yeah, and I do go in with my uni ball pen to like add some highlights to the skin and eyes as well, just to make it a bit more interesting. But yeah. This thing though, I really enjoyed it just because it was very, very different, but like I said, honestly, I didn't like the colours at all. They didn't go together that well. Okay, that's unfair. Like, they don't look bad together. They're quite a nice combination, but because none of them blend and they were so different, like the pebble blue is, the number is C217, and I think in pro markers the first number like tells you what shade it is. So that's shade 2 compared to 7 for Firebrick and 9 for Egyptian Blue. So they're kind of really, really bright and bold, and this one isn't. And they just didn't work together at all. In the sense of blending, of course. I think like the colour combination is nice, but for this kind of combination it would have been good to have more colours. But I guess that's the fun of the challenge, seeing if you can make something with random markers. And yeah, I think all things considered I did do reasonably well. Also, I'm sorry about the line art there, it looks kind of greyish, and that's just because my light is not diffused and also very aggressive, and also like just, yeah, the ink is kind of reflective. But yeah, I'm just doing the highlights now, and I think I go in once more to try and layer up the hair. And I also like, I try to do the like where you put the tips of the pens together to try and get it to absorb some of the other colour with the dark blue and the red, just to try and get a bit more variation, but nope, it didn't really do anything. Here's where I try it, and it does look darker, but I think that's just because there's more layers of red, honestly, not because this actually worked, which is a shame, but you know, hey ho. But yeah, I'm slowly edging towards the end of the video now, so I guess I'll say thanks for watching now. If you liked it, subscribe, share it, comment, you know, do whatever it is you want to be doing. I would appreciate anything you can do, so yeah. But yeah, here I'm just finishing up now, so thank you very, very much for watching, and goodbye.